What's up guys, this is Sean Tan and today will be a new segment all together. It's called Area Review. And the first location that we'll be doing automatically, because it's close to my office, Mont Kiara. Very weirdly, Mont Kiara is like an island suddenly packed like Hong Kong, meaning like the condos and condos and condos and condos all very close together, and we don't know why. Because neighboring, right, still got a lot of land, but all just want to pack and stay here together. That somewhat forms a concentration of people, right, and the commercial area then becomes very good, because look at it, right, in a very small amount of area you got so many people staying there, living there, having activities there all the time. And across time, this location also becomes an attraction point, especially for expats, and that can be due to several reasons. In a very small area, there's already like 2 to 3 international schools, such as the Mont Kiara International School, and the one is the Garden International School, which we will go and see later. So a cool thing that you need to evaluate in Mont Kiara itself is the Jalan, meaning the street. Basically there's like Jalan Kiara 1, 2, 3, 4 only. So in which street actually matters a lot. But evaluating areas, right, what I want to touch on is also the streetscape. Like, is it pedestrian friendly, or is there a lot of landscape to make this walk very pleasant, and is there like a lot of bumps to actually slow cars down? So we are now in Jalan Kiara 2, and you can see the amazing streetscape and landscape. So the landscape treatments here are awesome. You can see a lot of greeneries, and the trees are super matured. Driving is actually very pleasant, because here is actually a hill. You go up, then you feel like, oh, the sense of arrival, because there's actually 3 condos straight away right here already. And the balance between like the amount of residential versus the commercial, right, is actually very well done, in terms of like every street, right, has its fair share of commercial spaces. So like, just in case like all this needs to grab a quick bite, there will be a commercial area just within walking distance. A lot of people here actually walk. It's actually very toddler friendly, meaning they can bring a baby around, and a lot of business trades are actually focusing on infants, toddler, kids, children. That's why it becomes a very good and suitable place for expats to bring in their family while they are working in KL, which is very nearby. Here is also a very good location for them to raise their kids. Just to get a feel of the density, within this street itself there's already like 6 to 7 different high-rise projects already, and all of those is just walking distance away. And then they will share the commercial areas like this. So this is the clinic and the dentist areas of this location. And also because of the Japanese, right, they actually all migrates here. The maintenance of all the condominiums here is like an art. You can see that 10 years, 12 years, 15 years condominium still looks amazing. That's why you can still find a lot of deals if you want, right? Between 700,000, 800,000, you can get a very big unit. So the main difference between the older units and the brand new units, right, is actually the size. Those days, all the sizes are actually 1,500, 1,800, 2,000 square feet one, but now the smaller one is like 600 to 800 square feet. So now we are in Jalan Kiara 3, which is behind the Jalan Kiara. There you have Mont Kiara International School. In this side you have Gardens International School, and right opposite Garden International School you have this commercial lot, right, where it serves a lot of coffee, cakes, salons. There's some observation of the status and level of kids here. See all those cars, right? Those is to fetch the kids. Woohoo! So between Jalan Kiara and Jalan Kiara 3, you can feel the dynamics of people is actually a little bit more different, because at Jalan Kiara it's the more office space people, meaning like there's a lot of people in suit and tie, girls in very nice dresses. But this side is actually in connection to Segambut, where there's still a lot of Malay reserve land where people cannot develop. And because of that, right, you can see a significant difference between pricing of Jalan Kiara between this Jalan Kiara 3. Then after the merger between UEM and Sunrise, they become UEMS, UEM Sunrise. And you can see that all the condos here is as if they are having a competition to see who has the best landscape. Another observation is if you walk down the street right now, right, the pathway for pedestrian is actually shrinking and it's getting a little bit more and more inconvenient. So if I'm pushing a child right through the stroller, then not convenient to go through journeys like this anymore. So in this stretch right is where all the new projects are actually focusing on, because this is the kind of remaining land already. The premium true blue Mont Kiara areas has already been taken almost full already. So a lot of people actually that buys right, oh I'm buying in Mont Kiara, but you're actually very close to the transition area between Skambut and Mont Kiara. So that's something to take note, and many new projects are only that area only lah. We are now in the end of Kiara 3, and this leads to the areas like this, especially under the bridge. So this is the NKBE highway. So what you can see here, there's a lot of rumah setingans, like those illegal housings and things like that. Here you got people sat at the roadside for used shirts, and mainly a lot of construction workers that actually just stay here while they build Mont Kiara. Then there are a lot of good deals that happens around here, this area, because you're sharing the same street, but then the prices right of houses can be drastically lower than what you get in Mont Kiara. So do consider. Now I think the students are all coming out, and it will create a very bad traffic condition, and also with the connection to the Skambut side, right, that adds up to the problem. We are now in one of the commercial areas called Desa Sri Hartamas. If you're staying around in Mont Kiara, right, this is the focus area where all the shop lots are. It is heavily driven by a lot of nightlife activities, a lot of pubs, a lot of places to drink, a lot of places to hang out, cafes and restaurants, and mainly F&B areas. And you can find a lot of very good Japanese, Korean, Western foods, because this is where all these people stay. One more thing to highlight is the transformation between daytime and nighttime. Daytime, right, you can see that there's a lot of school kids, a lot of office workers, right? When the night falls, the whole dynamics change. You can see everyone from KL is actually gushing into Mont Kiara because of the night facilities. Now the traffic is seriously very heavy, and we are now heading towards the shop areas. There's a lot of Japanese restaurants at this side of town, some fast food joints around here. But if that's not your take, right, there's still some normal Malaysian kopitiams where you can still eat like the hawker area. Right? So for commercial areas, there's only two areas. One is this Desa Sri Hartamas, which is strictly not part of Mont Kiara if you want to be very precise about it lah. Then the other one that we're going to go later will be the Solaris Hartamas area. But before that, we'll stop by Jalan Kiara first for shopping malls, because there's only two forms of shopping malls here. Now we are in the true blue Jalan Kiara. This is where you have one Mont Kiara mall, and you have Kiara 163 now, and you have Plaza Mont Kiara. That's where you have a lot of crowds here crossing the center road. A lot of cars, is insane. And one thing to notice here also, there's a lot of more affluent people that stays here, so the lifestyle facilities is actually on point, where you have a lot of gyms. You can see that a lot of people are just in their gym wears. Police station is also just opposite, so that gives that sense of security for a lot of people. Hey, you see, kids. What's cool is also these three malls actually complements each other, where you have one Mont Kiara which is more enclosed under an office building, right? Then you have 163 Kiara Park as well. So this one is more open type, where it's more of an F&B experience and some convenience stores, right? Then you go to Fabrica, which is more hipster, artsy, cultural kind of feel. You look at the ratio between residential and commercial, right? It's actually very balanced. So along the same street, you also have Alcaris, where the landscape is amazing. The density of landscapes here is really trying to create a new experience for people, and that is all within the same street. I would say the same corner. And to get a clearer picture of who is actually staying here, you just look at the signboards, right? It's mainly Japanese, Korean and English. So that's a rough guide if you're investing here, who your tenant markets are. Until today, right, this location is still one of the better investment solutions or investment areas lah. We are in Solaris Hartamas, where you can see there's a few blocks of shop offices, but this is the complex where it's a bit more focused on offices and F&B and bars actually, because this one at night it's really an action-packed area. I think easily there's like 15 bars around here where you can actually hang out. And if you want grocers, just now there's Jaya Grocer, Village Grocer, and there's also cold storage at this area. Then for bankings as well, here there's like Public Bank, Maybank, CIMB in the same row, so it's a little bit more convenient. I think within the visit today, you get to see the bus very often. So the bus keeps coming in and out, so people do actually take buses around here. So in conclusion, you can see that why Mont Kiara can be so in demand, right, is due to several reasons. And number one is actually the connectivity to the main commercial areas like KL, you got PJ. Then in close, let's look at like 3 to 5 kilometers, you got Bukit Tungku, you get Bukit Damansara, you got Kenny Hills, you got Segambut. And not only that, you got all the major highways like the Duke Highway, the NKBE Highway. And then would be the amenities and the lifestyle components that is really suitable for expats and their families to be here. You look into the food choices, which is very native to their origins. On top of all that, right, many may not know that a lot of government agencies and buildings is also around the corner, where you have the Mahkamah Tinggi, you have the administration office, convention center, MyTech, which is just around the junction. And that is just a bonus lah, because then during the weekends, if you have shows you want to attend to, right, it's just there. And a few things that you need to know, as we mentioned in the site visit, right, which street you are when you are actually looking for a house or you are looking for a place to stay. And let's say your children is actually studying, is there a transportation system that is actually fetching your kids around, or you're going to do it yourself, and is it walking distance and things like that. So what you need to check is really which road are you. Then you can really check on proximity to all the neighboring amenities that is actually required for yourself. But generally in Mont Kiara, the standard of maintenance is very high in comparison to the market level. You can see that aged products can still look amazing, but just that the sizes are bigger. That is also a requirement if you look into the listings of property that you want to rent or you want to buy, right? Older buildings tend to be bigger. And just be informed on Jalan Kiara 3, right, the road that is along the Sri Hartamas International School. There's a transition road that you can see, like the landscapes and the walkways all will slowly becomes degraded. Maybe like you buy 800,000 property already, but in front of you are rumah setinggans. With that condition, there's still very high rental around that area, so it's really up to you whether you want to get it or not. So I think that's all for this episode. This episode is actually in collaboration with Cozy Homes. So if you really like this video, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.